Welcome back to Tennis Manager 26, episode number 5. We're still in that first year, but we are very much at the tail end of it. And actually, I'm already starting to get the feeling that we have outgrown this local tennis club. And I'll probably be looking for a move here at the end of the season to get to something that's going to provide us a little bit more. But speaking of providing us a little bit more within the infrastructure of this current club, there is a little bit more to be offered, and that in particular was that I started with the physical coach because that's where we began our journey, but we've already outgrown that and we've moved into other realms. And apparently with my successes of late, the club has already promoted me to, at least in their eyes, the key player on the team of the three of us, which has now given me the choice of who my coach is, and not just from those that are unassigned, but from any of the coaches. And therefore I was able to get in and take the 1.5-star defense coach instead of the half-star physical coach that I've been working with. Now, how much of an impact will this have? Where directly does it apply? Hard to say, but if from my understanding of how things are working so far, we're set for a match day. We'll have to look at it later, but when we get into training and you're choosing which session to train, I think we get a larger bonus in their category. Like, it pushes it a little bit further. You get a little bit more of that form bonus, or less reduction penalty wise, right, as you go along. So this will push us up in defense, and instead of half star where it's almost negligible and you don't even notice it, maybe it's 1% more. At 1.5 stars, maybe it's 5 or 10% more, something a bit more substantial. That's my thought anyway. We'll see if that's actually the case, and that could dictate how quickly we want to make that move, as in, during this off season. Is kind of what I'm thinking, but this extra full-on star over what we were getting, we'll see what that difference is like. But we are in the midst of some back-to-back tournaments. We're even onto the right surface now after we lost in the semifinals on the last one, right? Our condition is top, but we still have that minor injury. We are into the stage where we do have at least a somewhat positive bonus here. This is tournament number 3, right? We had 2 in Europe. We're coming back to the US. Brain's working. It's functioning. We're back on track. We've returned, and we've got like back-to-backs in California here. So short distance, already the top condition. Yeah, looking really good for what is to come. We lost a semifinal, and then we lost a final, right, for those two. So we're still looking for the first tournament victory. We are starting to claim wins on a regular basis, and we're not going to play live unless it is in the final. Tough draw against the 3 seed. Top 500 player. We've had our troubles with them. But because of the bonuses, I think we've got a shot to get the win here. But let's just quick sim and see whether we are in or out, and we are in. And again, with that whole, it's flipped here, but there was an update before I recorded the last episode. The update had just gone live, and I had updated the game just before playing. And so we are updated now, and it at least keeps my stuff on this side now. So they've been able to flip the table. They still haven't quite flipped how this one works, or, add an arrow to which one is you and which one is your opponent, etc. However they want to deal with that still needs some dealing with. But again, game has just launched. This version has just launched, and this sort of problem has existed in the game before. I do remember in the past it's been a thing. 4 double faults, not great on that part, but even without putting points into serving right now, that's literally 4 points in the entire match that we gave up out of 95. Well, not a great ratio, but still, I'd rather be competitive on 91 points versus giving up 4, right? Okay, all those bonuses are now applied across the board, so double bonuses everywhere as we head into the second round on this one. And now we've got our seeded opponent out of the way, so the next 2 rounds are much more achievable. However, we're looking at somebody who is only just slightly below in ranking, so another challenging second round match here. XP suggests that we have won it, but not always a given. And yeah, we were on top. We are through. Quarterfinals, the easiest one we had. In fact, it's the lowest ranked one we've had, but we've been challenged by lower ranked opponents before. I think there's a lot of like, it's close, and we were on top, weren't we? I feel like we might be out of this thing. Lose, win, lose. I think we were on top of those. I don't think we're in this thing anymore. And no, we are not. We did get eliminated in 3 sets, 3-6, 6-2, 4-6. And yes, I am tracking this thing properly now on how they have it set up. Okay, well, that is a quarterfinal exit. I just as I was saying, hey, this should be easier. I acknowledge that not necessarily the case, right? Tactically, I think this low in the rankings, anybody is probably capable of beating anybody. There's your strong suit, there's their strong suit, and how does that necessarily compete? It's a little bit of a crapshoot. It's all over the place on how it could end up. Quarterfinal exits, not bad. Remember, we are doing some tier 2 tournaments here, so I'm okay with a -6. I'm okay with a +3%. Let's save that money. We're sitting on less than $6,000 right now, and we're definitely not going far away. We've got 4 days till the next one, so we will get a little bit of training in. It looks like our form bonuses are still high, and we'll get into that training in a second. Before we do so, I want to point something out, and that is I have managed to get the updated actual names now into it. In the career mode, it's really simple. The regular manager mode, it's really simple to update. In the My Player, it does not have that same level of simplicity. It's actually a somewhat complex process, but I've figured it out, got through it, and we now have all of the proper names in the field. Another thing that you may notice here is that we do not have the option to switch to the men's rankings. Everything is based off of just the women's tour. There is no juniors tour either. Now, the reason for all of that, essentially, if you think about it, you have junior men's, junior women's, men's tournaments. We're cutting that down to just one of those, just the women's tour. So the database is roughly a quarter of the size of the regular mode. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why it starts us in the women's tour, and it largely comes down to the My Player mode is a crossover. It is being used in 2 different capacities. It's here in the base PC game, but it was also designed as a standalone title available on iOS or Android. Having that shrunken database being a quarter of the size brings that file size down to something manageable on those devices, and therefore it's another avenue for Rebound to generate revenue beyond just the base PC game. And they started, and that's actually where my first interactions were. I didn't do it on the channel, it was just on my own, but I had picked up the original Tennis Manager app on my phone, played it, enjoyed it, played it for a good while, and then when I saw it coming up on PC, I was like, oh, hell yeah. Oh, that's that game. Okay, sure. Love it. It's the same company. And was stoked and got excited, and I've been here ever since, every single release. And I've very much enjoyed the partnership that I have with Rebound and them sending me early access keys every year. And actually they were They were requesting some additional content from me this year, pre-release, but unfortunately, I have a newborn, and I was not prepared at the time of request. I'm trying to think. When they first reached out to me for this year, he was something like a week old. So I was very much lacking sleep and not prepared to commit to anything along those lines. But I was like, hey, I'm so stoked to play Tennis Manager 26 and continue with you guys. But this year, I'll have to wait till that release date to be active. But really appreciate you guys, and do want to restate that I have enjoyed collaborating with them. But let's keep playing here, and we're gonna get into that training as I spoke about. So I think what we can anticipate is some sort of increase, right? We have our coach application here, and while it doesn't directly specify, I mean, right, defense times 1 minus 10, 72, 121 is the same. And, hovering over this does not tell me, oh yeah, by the way, here's your bonus. But clearly there is something. There is something, otherwise that icon wouldn't exist. So we have our base. We have some type of modifier. At least I assume that that's how the system is set up. We are at 87, and we are going to get a good amount of recovery. But if we drop 20, we'll recover 28. So actually, I think we can afford. But we got to get rid of that thing. We have got to get rid of that thing. So take the 21. We're going to train hard for the other one. Take the minus 12. And bonuses are still going to be there. We're going to get a little increase to all of these from playing through the quarterfinal, right? Playing 3 matches this week. So there will be a climb, and the indoor is already maxed out now. I didn't realize we got it all the way maxed out. I thought it was only a single bonus. We should have done better, but we have jumped to tier 2 tournaments here lately. But yeah, let's go ahead and take the defense bonus. Though I don't think I necessarily need it. Do we want to take a double care and just be on with it? Because I think we're gonna have good form bonuses, but that means no XP. Ooh, no XP. Just the single. Yeah, that was a really healthy increase on defense. So yes, I think the stronger coach absolutely making a difference for form. The XP seems to all be the same, but maybe there is more XP out of it. Hard to say. But we were at a 96 before we even get the monthly. And there we go. With the latest investment, we now gain XP weekly regardless. So love that. We are learning as we wake up that next morning. Woof, costly week, but that was the investment was largely included with that. So dropping our balance, but we're at 6K. Not gone. The persistent ankle discomfort. And we picked up an opportunity. Pay tribute to a sports legend, competitor and charismatic. Probably like that one. I'm guessing the others are all just whoa. We have a cost. Oh, okay. Something different. So we have a sponsorship type opportunity. We can waste 5% of what? What is that? Our form? Stamina? Is that our stamina? I mean, that's happiness, right? Be a little bit annoyed. We can gain plus 30 to our eccentricity by dyeing our hair in our sponsor's color. We have no sponsor, but I get where they're coming from on this. It's just one of those kind of random opportunity pop-ups, and it's not validating whether we have a sponsor or not. But 8,500's a decent little payout. But we are not gaining the long-term popularity, which would get you sponsorships, which would get you income all the time. And there's also that trade-off, the sacrifice, to make it happen. But there's still the plus. No, there is. There's a plus 30. It's a plus 30 the other way either. Screw it. Let's do it. Let's take the free money, huh? Okay, we're up to 531 as we keep racking up those points, and not an easy first couple of rounds, but certainly manageable kind of stuff. But like we said, it doesn't seem to matter too much where you're at in those rankings. You have a legitimate shot of winning or losing pretty much any match. So that quick sim again, we're going to save ourselves for the final. That's not a good XP. So either we squeaked out a victory or we lost this one. We were on top, weren't we? That's a first round exit. That is a first round exit. Or is it? What? It's not a first round exit. Oh my goodness. 6-4, 6-3. We were on the bottom there. I forgot to pay attention to that one. This time we were on top. 6 seed. Ooh, now the expectations are going up. They want us to reach the quarterfinal. That status changing. They expect a little more from us. 6-3, 6 love. That is a victory this time. 61 of the 96 points played. 3 to a double fault's not great, but that's still better than our opponent. Form bonuses back to a maximum. On to the quarterfinal. Fairly well rested. Popularity is up to a full star now, by the way, as we continue to progress, and we're definitely picking up more and more popularity here as time goes on. But it's the 2 seed today, and is this the first time we've played somebody in the top 400? I think it might be. Not entirely sure. Let's take the match beats approach on this one and see if we can hang in there, if we could be competitive, if we can get a win. We've won games. In fact, we've started incredibly strong, completely dominating early play with 4 games love. And after they bounce back quite a bit here, giving us a challenge, we do eventually take the set at 6-3. But they're coming out a different player in the second set. But we bounce back from that one, get back in decent control. But they yet again put the pressure on, and it looks like we're going to head to a decisive third set. We might want to intervene here at some point and try to play this thing out at 2-3, 3-3, 3-4. Let's jump in there. 40 love to try to go towards 4-all. Double fault. Not good timing on jumping in there. She's panicked now that I'm watching. I came and took my seat courtside, and she flipped out. We are pumped, but what can we do? Do we have anything? We're troubled. Relaxation is where we're at, but emotions are angry. Let's fix that. That's more. There we go. More concerning, right? Single negative, double negative. Pop that up, and you're offsetting. It's like +3, -3. So we're pretty neutral on the emotions right now. It's definitely not giving us a bonus. Down 40 love here at 4 games all.
Just 5 games to 4.
Not pretty. Stamina, good for both. Our opponent is troubled, so her emotions are not great. We are neutral, so at least we're a little bit better emotionally. I think she probably has higher expectations than what she's getting, but this is a must-win for us. Otherwise, the match is over. And this will push us to 5-5. Right now, it's looking like the destination, the goal would be to either get 7-5 or get to a tiebreaker. Oh, come on. Jeez. Halfway up the back wall. We're wild all over the place. 30-40. It's match point. Let's up that intensity, huh? Deuce. Oh, that caught. No, it did not catch the line. Okay. That was out. Correct call. Ace. Whoa, buddy. I feel like she easily could have played that one, but she thought it was out and let it go. If it's out, they're going to call it out, even if you play it. That one caught the line. That was in. Well placed, but didn't do us any harm. We have advantage. And there is that decisive game that keeps us alive, keeps us going. Wow, nice serve. That one did catch the line as well and led to the forced error, which practically was a winner. Practically was an ace, just about anyway. American just about. Not the British just about. Our just about is, here's the line, you almost got there. The British one is, here's the line, you got there. Okay, no longer a must-win scenario, but obviously a break here sets us up for potentially winning the match without going to a tiebreaker. And we're going to keep that intensity up here at this stage. I mean, this is it. We have tons of stamina, and this is the number 2 seed. So I think this is your key moment. You drain that thing out. And we did get the break. We did get the break. Oh, is that out? That's touching the edge of the line. So there's a bad call. But can't blame them for that one, because the literal definition of touching the line is that barely. 1%. 1% touch the line, but it should be 30 love. Good serve, but she got a decent return on it. Nice winner! 30-15. Here's where that intensity at the moment appears to be paying off. Couple points shy of ending this thing victorious. Ooh, got the ace. 40-30. Match point. First match point. Oh, almost caught the line. Oh, missed it and got it. Yes. Oh, my arm. Oh, funny story for you. Okay, so I'm head coach for a volleyball program, and we were working on serve receive yesterday, and I'm by far the most consistent server, so I ended up for like an hour and a half straight serving continuously, well over 200 serves, and the last 5 to 10 minutes I suddenly realized my arm was just done. But yeah, my arm and this whole like shoulder and neck area is just dead right now. Oh, I'm so sore. But, you know, out of like 200 plus serves, easily had a 95% serve rate, and generally did exactly what I wanted to do with those. I can place it, I can hit with power, or I can take a little bit off and, you know, give them a ball that's a little more playable, floated serves, whatnot. And it was a good practice. It was a really good practice, but oh, my arm is so dead right now. Well, that's going to push us on to the semifinal with one of the 2 hardest obstacles cleared out of our way. And we have a favorable matchup, but of course last time that did not pan out well. Let's see what happens with this one. I was on the bottom. Yes, I was on the bottom. Good XP suggests that we probably got through that thing just fine. Progression, oh yeah. 6-1, 6-2. The more comfortable it is, the more XP we seem to pick up. And we get the level up here before we go into the final. Real added bonus for this one. All of the form bonuses going to play in the final. Big opportunity. And the double form bonus for the surface as well. And we're going to add 2 in the attributes column here. We have top spin, also top spin. We have focus, that's shot consistency despite fatigue. We have not been suffering from fatigue, so again, that one can wait. More top spin. This one would be a drop shot. That is underspin. Down here we have more backhand consistency, which I would definitely want to get into, and that's the underspin again. So we have lots of top spin options or underspin, and I'm not necessarily a direct fan of any of these, though. Stamina, recovery, stamina is good. Stamina is definitely good, but maybe it's time to get into the counter category. I love return. Let's go ahead and take 2 points at a return, bringing it from a 9 up to an 11. This one is counter. Reflects player's ability to return a powerful ball, also a 9 up to an 11. Yeah, we'll get this tree on the go. So we move on to counter. The final against the 4 seed. It's another top 400 player, very close in ranking. The 2 seed was 378. The 4 seed is 382. So they're ranking almost identical. You would expect that we have a very similar player on our hands. And as it's the final, and that chance to get that first tournament victory, which would be nice, getting a second tier tournament victory for our first one, because you almost don't have to ever go back to that first tier as a result. But here we are, and we've got plenty of work to do to try to get that win. They do have some sort of bonus. I'm not sure which bonus it is, but that looks maybe more like an accuracy type bonus, or a specific like drop shot or something.
Time. First set.
Okay, we are a little fresher than they are. Not by much, but definitely a little bit. She's determined. We are pumped. We're still carrying that minor injury. Let's go ahead and figure out where we need attention, and we are troubled. 3 out of 4 are good. In fact, we've got a lot of bonuses here early on in this one.
15-0.
Got some winners there with service. Definitely need to take advantage of it. Getting an ace on that makes me think she's got a really weak return score, and so we can get ourselves set up for a lot of with surface, a lot of winners early on, because there's another ace. That's 2 aces, and neither ace was painting the corner very well at all, and we've seen her have to lunge for the ball. At the moment, I feel like we have a fairly healthy advantage, at least on the service side, and on the receive side. Early on, her serves have not looked very dangerous as of yet. Easy winner there. Our opponent does not seem to have good footwork so far, right? It's the second game of the first set. So far, her footwork, her reaction time seems really weak. She couldn't track that one down, and she was not on the far side. She was very much in the middle. So I have a feeling that tactically we can dominate this one. Obviously, she has something about her player profile that has her ranked as high as she is. But play style wise, I'm seemingly 1,000 times faster than our opponent, and you can see how she played the ball well, attacking the net like that. It looks like she has strengths, but I'm getting winners like that are down practically the middle of the court here. She's having a real hard time, so we're not even have to be terribly aggressive to just get a whole lot of winners. There's a third ace already, 40-30. And, we're only into our second surface game, and we're up 3 games left. I will be very surprised at this stage if we lose this match.
30 low.
Serve with a little bit of power there. But, again, even if I lose 8-10 points that way, I don't think it means we lose the day. I think she'll take some games with service, but I feel like she's going to have a really hard time breaking us at any stage today. And because of our quickness and her lack of quickness, we will, if not frequently, at least infrequently, be able to break and steal games. Because, just like that opportunity there, you saw how she started on the front foot, but our ability to track down the ball quickly, while she can't track it down very quickly turns it from her being on the front foot to us getting neutral and then stealing the advantage during that rally and then stealing the point. So we have to do that consistently, and here we are on love 40, and that looked like that would have been an ace, because I sure thought I caught the line there, but didn't get it. It was awfully close. I might have missed.
15 low.
And making some mistakes at the moment, and suddenly it's 3-2, and it might be back to 3-3. So after a rough start, she might have already figured things out. But let's speed things up and see if I was on to something here, because for the moment it's not looking pretty, that's for sure. But there's another chance to break her yet again. Advantage, and we do 4-2. So yeah, back onto what I was thinking. Yes, she has kind of found her footing. Horner has, not Horner, Honor, Honor.
Out.
40-15, and it's set point 5-3.
Second set.
So she got one more game in here, but we've about to make it another. Both seem to be holding serve. That one missed a little bit there. Oh, that one caught the line. What was wrong with that? There's our game. Okay, 6-3. Let's check that attitude stuff. We are now reassured. Everything's looking positive. That's the only one that's not on the double. So yeah, we want to
Out. 30 low.
keep going on that relaxation.
Second set.
We are almost maxed out on our emotions and mentality.
Low.
And she is very much stressed. But that's not to say that she can't get back in this thing here. She's got game one. But that was with serve. And like I said, we are, at the very least, infrequently taking, and she hasn't broken us once yet. Or no, she did break us once.
30 low.
Just once in that first set. And we broke her, what, at least 2 times? 3 times? Long rallies here. It seems the longer they go on, the better it gets for us because of the footwork piece. Though she does end up taking that game in the end. 40 love, 3 games all. That's the thing. With service, we are mostly comfortable. And in her service, like every single game is a struggle to get the win. And then there's the break to put us on top 4-3. And as long as we hold serve here, we'll be at 5-3. We're on the verge, folks. We are on the verge. It is 5-3. It is 5-3. She's in service here. And 15-40. Break point / match point. And you can see how we've already taken control of the point, though. She made one really nice play there that put us back on our heels. But then we just gave her a ball that hopped awkwardly. And she ended up pushing it wide. First tournament victory. We've done it. And it's tier 2. Added bonus for that one, right? We are a winner. It's potentially going to push us inside the top 500 in the rankings. 57 out of 100 points won. So healthy advantage, but not massive. Serve points won 67, and that's where we really had that advantage, right? She was only 52% of service points won. We were just really strong on the return compared to her. She just was not putting her foot down. 4 aces, we saw all 4 of them, right? No, we saw 3 of them in the first 2 games that we served. We only ended up hitting 1 the entire rest of the day. First serve percentage, hers was a little bit higher. Again, we don't have a great serve. It's just that first serve points, when we did serve it in, we scored points almost every time. It really gave us an advantage right away, and that's one reason you do want to work on it. Just, it's the rally. The rally is the key. If you want to be a champion, yes, you need to serve, but if you want to be very competitive against anybody, be good in the rally. Be able to return the ball, keep it in play, and just be able to serve it in most of the time. Sweet. We are victorious. We get the interview. We can talk about areas of improvement. Stay humble. I do like stay humble. We do not want to boast about our performance. Let's stay humble. Okay, we are... Oh, we have one more. This was a 5 in a row, back to back. But we're heading to Waco, Texas. We're based in Houston right now, so this is basically back home. And I think huge influx of cash. I think we can afford to go into this next one a little bit more prepared. $110 for the partner hotel. Only have a 2% reduction. We're at 88. We don't even need no. We're gonna get our 28% reduction anyway. Save your money. That's gonna knock me down to an 82. We're gonna easily get back. We're gonna be in top condition. Ooh, buddy, 22K, 21 when you offset the expenses. 35 points picked up when we had 54. That's a massive increase. That didn't just crack the top 500. That nearly cracked the top 350. And extra 90 XP for winning that first national tournament. We've also entered the top 500 in rankings for another 90 XP. New objectives, still looking on the equipment contract, but top 200 and a continental tournament, so probably tier 3 and above. This is another potential winnable tournament. We still have the bonus for the surface. We still have virtually all of the form bonuses, though defense took just a tiny bit of a hit there. And we should be fairly rested. Okay, we're not as rested as I thought. I thought we were going to pick up our 28%. So I was going to spend that little bit more to keep us up, but I thought we were going to get our 20% recovery over the course of the week. We didn't, but maybe we will. We have an answer needed. We're not beginning the tournament just yet. There you go. We get our equipment sponsor, Yonex King or Head. Signature bonus highest is here on the right, but season bonuses, the best bonus is definitely here. But let me see what the others entail, starting with, I guess, the lowest one. We have a one-time bonus, reach top 300 and you get 2,000. 20 tournament participations, and it should ultimately count what we've done for the year already, but it maybe not. And I'm trying to think how many tournaments. It's not going to count all those tournaments we ended up injured through, meaning we probably only had 6 to 8 tournaments early on, and then this stretch of 5, meaning we're going to be at like 13, and the year is nearly done. We're not going to get to 20. So I think what I need to focus on is cracking top 300, because we're really close to that. We should get that maybe even after this tournament. We might have that in a week. So this is like $3,000. That's significantly less. That's actually less. So I think Yonex is our winner. These are the rackets that we would get through that sponsorship. They do have bonuses and change your appearance a little bit. But yeah, this is going to pay out the best, I think. Okay, we also get outfits and shoes. So we're going to get sponsorships kind of across the board. Nice. Well, same sort of thing. Why would we have a week? There shouldn't be a weekly fee. This is like weekly payment towards me. Should be. Plus signature, plus season bonuses. Oh, and it's outfits and shoes. So we're doing one contract for both. We would be looking at, again, we're not going to get the 20 tournaments, and we're looking at about $9,000 plus a weekly of $327. Here we have a little over $9,000, but only $300 weekly. But again, I think we're almost at the end of the season, so the weekly fee won't add up to be a whole lot. That's nowhere near the others. So this swoosh contract comes out to be about $500 more on the signature and ranking reached. If for some crazy reason we get to the tournament participation, it's an extra $1,000. What it's less by is like $20 a week. But if we're only talking about maybe 10 weeks left in the year, we're talking about $200. So ultimately, this seems to be the better contract option. So we're going to select swoosh. Total signature bonus for those, $2,400, $68. We'll get a weekly of $301. And then once we crack top 300, we're going to get a couple healthy bonuses. And if for some crazy reason we get to 20 tournaments, then we're going to get a really healthy bonus. And now we get to head to the locker room and choose what we're going to wear. So we have this. I tend to never wear white. That is not my thing. So my athletes will not either. And is that camo? I was in the army. You don't wear camo unless you're hunting. You don't wear fatigues any other time. So it's either the blue or the black, and that's my color. So I guess we'll take the black. All right, so we're going to take our all black phase, though our racket is black with plenty of kind of a rainbow trim with it. And with that first equipment contract signed, there's another 225 XP. And no, we did not get recovery this week for whatever reason, but we also have 30,000. So before we get into the match day, let's go check on those investments. And there's a big jump now. So going back and getting this 7,700 from rebound, even though it's only a +5, I want to check it off the list for the sake of completion. So we're going to go ahead and make that donation now. And now we're into much more expensive upgrades. Starting from here, the next one's 110,000, and then it jumps to 500,000. And I think they are base 500,000, but we have like a 10% increase due to the difficulty level, where at other times you have like a reduction. So maybe these would be like 450 on the easier mode, 500 on the standard mode, 550 on this extreme difficulty mode. So that seems to be the case, because we're also looking at 1.1 million and then 11 million and then 22 million and 55 million for the final upgrades. But we've done the easy phase. Now we're moving into, I guess you could say, kind of the mid tier. The next one, hyperbaric chamber, would give us some bonus as a competitor, a +30 on that popularity. It would also give us a stamina boost. So our 28 recovery that we have weekly would become a +30 once we do that. So that obviously has a very good long-term benefit. And also, per week, +2 to our happiness bonus. It would help keep us happier on a regular. So no financial gain from that, but there's a clear advantage to that one. And we're already not quite a quarter of the way there, right? We're a fifth of the way towards that already. And I could see us getting there pretty quickly as things stand. But then again, it's week 42, and we're, going to be into a new year pretty quickly. And that's going to maybe change things on where we do our training and what those costs entail. We might lower things to boost things long term. Anyway, let's get to what is our last scheduled tournament for the time being. We'll still try to have something to wrap up the year, but like I said, I don't think we're going to get anywhere near the 20 that we need. Yeah, so for now it says we're at 0 of 20. We're just starting that. We're 100% not going to get that this year. And yes, we've done 14 tournaments so far this year. But I think a number of these were tournaments we didn't actually end up participating in. At least 3 of them were ones where it's a round of 32 exit. But because of the injury, we exited as in forfeit in the first round. And you could actually break this down by standard of tournament. Continental, we have not participated in one. I think that's 3rd tier and above. For national, 1st and 2nd tier are both in national level. Well, we do still have that one tournament to go in this sequence of 5 in a row, but that's 4 out of 5 behind us, and a lot has happened as we've made that progression, getting the equipment contract, getting that first tournament victory, really setting ourselves up. The big thing is we don't know for sure whether we have 12 months on this equipment contract or whether it's going to expire here at the end of the year, which could very well happen. It's already mid-October, so the end of the year is fast approaching. You get a little bit of a break before you go into the new year, which starts like right after Christmas Day. It's the last week of the year is when you begin training, and there's a couple of tournaments that kind of kick off right around New Year's. Realistically, the new year technically starts on week 1, but yeah, it's a matter of 2 to 3 weeks left is all there is for the calendar year. So not sure we're going to need a decent performance if we're going to crack that top 300 and get that bonus. Or will this carry over into next year because we just signed it? Hard to say how that's going to all work out. So that's kind of our big cliffhanger for what next episode will entail as we go to wrap up the current season. Is how will it impact the contracts? And will there be an opportunity for us to move to another level? Because I think I'm still a level or 6 levels away from a progression towards better academies wanting to recruit us. So there might not even be an offer yet. We might be forced to stick around one more year, making our way up through with our current setup. That is going to do it for this one, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.